So how is something like Flickr changed the business for somebody who's doing photography?
We haven't utilized Flickr that much at this point. We've been doing more Facebook and Twitter and trying to do like an everyday and ongoing story on Facebook. That I think that I'm not familiar with other people doing that, but I'm utilizing some of my art and computer graphics to do like a journey through different paths.
Okay.
And so you might see that on the stream of Facebook and go, what the heck's he doing?
Yeah.
How's this out of context? So lately I've been putting like 2 in a row, 2 posts right after one another so people can get an idea that they're interconnected.
Okay.
But they all flow together actually, so it's a couple months worth of work flowing together.
So what's interesting too, kind of how this started and how we met was you walked into Quirk and handed me a calendar of the recent work that you did.
Yeah.
So obviously you're using the social media to be able to publish your work, show examples, and tell a
Right.
story.
Yeah.
But there still is this component of you actually being on the ground, both of you, going in and building relationships.
Right.
How do you approach that? Like, do you have do you try to meet X number of people per week, or do you attend certain networking events, or?
Well, yeah, we do the networking events, and then we go see different clients, or we might go to another city and drop off portfolios and see people there. And
Okay.
also via the web, too, just going, hey, look at our site at LinkedIn. We've got different slideshows there that show both corporate photography and high-tech photography. So we try to invite people to look at that. And then Pam does a great post every couple weeks or week or so that shows different work that we're doing, and she writes that and puts that together.
Okay.
I kind of launched us into our social media campaign about a year ago with saying, okay, let's get on LinkedIn, and then it was Facebook and Twitter. Actually, I think it was Twitter and then Facebook. And then in May of last year, I launched our blog.
Okay.
And so I do all the writing, and he supplies me with the images, of course, and then we do our blog posts as frequently as we can. And we get good replies from that. I don't know that we can track ROI at this point from our blog or any of our social media, and I know that's a real issue for people that are launching social media campaigns. But it's the technology is out there and it can't be ignored. So if you're going to keep current, I think you really have to stay on top of that.
So you mentioned ROI, and I think that's interesting because ROI is this term that suddenly started to just get kicked around everywhere. It seems like it's lost a lot of meaning. To your point, these are communication tools, and so you can measure baseline growth, but measuring the investment comes in the long term. How are you guys measuring baseline growth? Are you getting more awareness of the business in the community, or have you started adding a lot of fans and seeing engagement from those fans?
Well, spit that out. We recently went to it was an AMA, I think, American Marketing Association sponsored SIG for Facebook, and they brought down a speaker, kind of a guy like yourself of sorts that came down from Cleveland. He's got a business similar probably to what you're doing, and he came down and spoke. And I had known for some time that once we got past some other stuff that I wanted to create a fan page for Larry Hamill Photography beyond Larry's own Facebook page, and I have my own under my own name, and I wanted to create one for Larry Hamill Photography, so we got back and Larry got going on getting that going. So we've, people are now aware of that, and they become fans of the page, which is all well and good, and Larry uses LinkedIn to do kind of mass mailings. Every time I do a new post, he goes onto LinkedIn and all his contacts get an email saying, new post about, and it's not always business, because the rule about the 80-20, it's supposed to be 80 community and 20 of pushing your own business, and some people say it's really supposed to be more of a 70-20-10 split, but however you want to split it out. So we try and do stuff that's not totally self-serving, like we've been to Franklin Park Conservatory and the Columbus Museum of Art, and we've done posts about the Chihuly glass exhibits that are there. And so Larry goes in, we get permission to do the photography.
Okay.
And then I write something about this is the exhibit, and so people are really receptive to that. Now, are we getting actual business as a result of that? I'm not seeing that yet. I'm trying to figure out what's the next, we've kind of laid the groundwork, so what's the next step to get this, to get as much attention as we've been getting is fine, but we need to translate that into
growth,
into clients, and growth,
revenue.
Right.
Okay, interesting. I think you guys are taking a great approach to this. It's good to hear these stories, and that you're taking these tools and applying it to what you do.
Right.
So, thank you very much.
Sure.